Hey, I'm here with James. You may know him from topping the NAWCQ with Tenpai. He was at a remote regional today. Tell me how you finished, man.
So I got fourth out of around 140 players.
Pretty good. You mind showing us the deck profile?
Yeah, let's get right into it. So I also chose to play Tenpai for this event because it's just been my pet deck ever since it came out. It's similar to my deck from last week, but I made one change to it. So I played three Tenpai Dragon Chundra, three Hydra, two Fadra, two Genroku. So I don't play Dora just because Dora isn't as flexible of a card as any of these because it doesn't have a quick synchro effect. And it's just another normal summon, and then I already play enough cards which are strictly normal summons if you draw them. Like if you draw any of these 7, they're just strictly normal summons. So I didn't think it was good to add any more. And then another pseudo engine card is Magna. If you draw this, it's just really broken because you could just play on your opponent's end phase with Genroku. So I play like a different sort of like Tenpai strategy than most people. So most people like they just go like full on breakers with Shifter and Droll. Like I decided to just play a bunch of hand traps, which is like not that common. So I played like 3 Ash, 3 Ogre, 3 Nib, 3 Mourner, and 3 Veiler, 3 Imperm. For the only breaker I did play was Droplet, but I decided to like go for this just because it makes it so you can play like more flexibly, and it also makes it so I guess like you're going first is much better, like just in general. And also like these cards are just very good against Fiendsmith. If you open 2 of them, you can always just hold them for like when they have Apo Princess. Or if you open 3, you could just try to stop every starter that they throw down. Overall, like I prefer this way to play the deck rather than just playing infinite breakers with Shifter. The only breaker I did play was Droplet just because it's like a very versatile card. Like you can, I guess if you open like just 1 hand trap and 1 Droplet, it's still very good because you could like weaken their board a bit and then you could make it so that Droplet wins you the game. You can usually do it in a way that dropping a hand trap at a certain point can take one of the 3 pieces off of their end board, and then this can deal with the rest.
But I also noticed you have no Droll in there. What's the theory behind that?
I don't think Droll is a very good card this format, even though like most people are just on it in the main deck, like with 3 copies. But I only think it's good against Fiend Snake, which is the tier 0 deck right now, if you draw it and they have Bonfire or Engraver. But if they don't have either of those cards, the card just does nothing. It's in theory, it's supposed to be very good against Yubel, but if they just open a lot of engine, they could just like play through it like it's nothing. So like I just don't think it's very good. Also, since I'm playing like a lot of hand traps, it doesn't really pair well with any single one. And also, I didn't play Shifter in the main, which like most people just hop on for this deck, just because I think it's just good against Fiendsmith's Snake Eye. And like if you play against Yubel and you throw that card, you just lose the game instantly. Okay, and then for the rest of the main deck, I played 3 Summoning, 1 Terraforming. This is pretty standard because the field spell is so broken. 3 Kaiman, and then 3 Prosperity. Yeah, this is just insane in this deck since you could still OTK under it.
So how many cards did you play in the full list?
I played 42, which is a bit like unconventional for Tenpai, but I think the number works out just because you have enough starters and non-engine, and you want to see a good mix of both. And there's nothing I really want to cut to slim it down to 40. And having 42 also makes it easier to side.
Okay, sounds good. You want to move on to the extra deck then?
Okay, so let's get into the extra deck. I played 1 Transcend. I was on 2 for a long time, but people don't play Cashtier Unicorn anymore, so I think 1 is fine. 1 Trident Dragon for OTKs. 2 Bident, the usual playmaker. 1 Meteor Burst for just when you can't make the Transcendent. It's just a smaller version of it. 1 Quibelt for spot removal, and also it helps you OTK under Shifter sometimes because sometimes you can you have 4 bodies under Shifter, and then you can make this first. Then you can summon this, pop your field spell, and then double the attack of Meteor Burst. Oh, this is the one the one change I made for my deck last week. I decided to put this in for going first because if you choose to go first, or if you're forced to go first, you could just make seals plus this, which is a spell negate off of any 2 cards. This almost came up one time, but one of the games I went first, I just got Mulcharmied, and I wasn't gonna give him 3 draws just to like make a spell negate, so I just chose to not make it. But in theory, like almost every time I went first, I had the ability to make this. So I would definitely keep playing this just because it's a going first option for this deck. I played 1 Black Rose, something you need to play even though you don't go into it all the time. So you have to Fire Dragon, and like a board wipe can't be that bad. Then played 1 Ruddy. This is your plan B for when you can't OTK.
Also, banishing their grave seems pretty good too.
Banishing their grave, it usually just guarantees game, and also it has a hidden second effect where you could negate a card effect that would destroy a card. You could summon this into Princess. Use the effect if they chain Princess, you could just chain this, negate it, and summon Black Rose. So you can just make this to dodge Princess instead of making Transcend sometimes, if that's all you want to play around. I played 1 Samurai for yugioh.
So how does it typically work into yugioh?
The Samurai?
Yeah.
So you just use this to out the yugioh monsters, which normally can't die by battle. And this also makes it so the yugioh monsters don't float. So like if your opponent makes Phantom and they're just not using the effect, or if they use the effect and they float down into another yugioh monster, you have to go into this, and you can just attack over it, and then you out it, you negate its effect so like it doesn't reflect the damage back at you, and it like stops the infinite floating loop of yugioh monsters. So it's just very, very important for that matchup.
Gotcha.
And then for the links, I played 2 Seals. Yeah, I just always play 2 Seals in this deck. Most people play 1, but I think the second one is very good. Like 1 Hida. This is like very, very important now with Genroku, because this is like another like very scuffed way to actually play the game, because you can crash it, search Genroku, summon it in damage step, and then just like play the game from there. So you have 1 Striker, 1 SP. This is like something you can do just to like out annoying cards, or if you're barriered, you can make like Seals SP. So that's it for the extra deck.
All right, moving on to the side.
Okay, for the side, I played 3 Lightning Storm, or 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Feather Duster.
I mean, it's basically 3 Lightning Storm.
Yeah, basically like 3 Lightning Storm. Yeah, it's like just the same card, different name. Yeah, it's just important to side against Snake because they side skill drains against you. Also yugioh because they have like a million back row, like all of which do something. 3 Cosmic, this is important for going first against yugioh and Tenpai. Tenpai has a field spell, and then yugioh has a bunch of continuous spells. I played 3 Crossout, 1 Barrier. This is like very important for like this format because a lot of people are on like the blue tiers combo. So if you think your Snake opponent is on this, you can like side this in instead of this. But it's overall like very important for like all of the non-Snake Eye decks, especially because they're guaranteed a side barrier, and especially the mirror, because Crossout is also just like a bonus in any mirror match.
Also doesn't hurt since Snake Eye's running an absolute ton of hand traps. So
yeah. So it's like you could just also put this in anytime you go first to like protect your plays, because like as long as you get your engine going, you have like a good shot at winning, because I play some pretty good Seals bricks. So I played Grand Tusk, which is a pop 2, which most people don't play. And then the Drago, which most people do play. It's the obligatory side against yugioh.
And also Chimera, that thing is insane.
Oh yeah, against Chimera too, because they have so many darks. And then 3 Shifter, because I didn't main deck them, so they have to be in the list somewhere, just because this card is so broken. Alright, so yeah, that's it for the extra, or the side deck. Yeah, so I'd like to give a few shout outs.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out first of all Trey, who's behind the camera and giving me an interview.
Hello.
I'd like to shout out my team, Frozen Card Gaming. Check us out on YouTube and CardMarket. And I'd also like to just shout out like everyone who has played with me to I guess help me perfect the deck.
Awesome. Well, appreciate it, man. Thank you for letting me interview you on the deck profile. Congrats again on top 4, and
Yeah, thank you.
hope you guys enjoyed the video.